All right, here we go. So I'm recording this using QuickTime so that I can use all the OBS settings without messing them up while I'm trying to record with it and change things at the same time. So, okay, first of all, I'm going to go to settings. I have OBS open. I'm going to go to settings, and under video, these are the settings I have. 1920 times 1080 for both the base and the output, and the frames per second are 30. That's what Mazoot wants. So that's fine. And then what I will do is I create a new scene. So, all right, so click on scene. I'm just going to call this MGIF. Make sure. Okay, and so this is a blank scene. There are no sources right now, so there's nothing coming in, no audio, no video or anything. So if I started recording now, I would just record a blank, a black screen with no sound. So I'm gonna go ahead and press plus and choose audio input capture. And I'm gonna create one called microphone. You can really call it whatever you want, but just to, it's always good to be organized. So microphone, and then here you choose which source you want. So I'm gonna use my built-in microphone. If I had an audio interface connected, it would show up here. And so none of these should appear on your computer because these are things that I have added separately. I will ask you to download one program called iShowU Audio Capture, but we'll get into that in a bit. So now let's do built-in microphone and then OK. And so now if you scroll down here, you should see one of these meters called microphone. And so this is the sound of your voice coming in. So that's fine, and it's nice because you can check the level and raise it and lower it, etc. So there's still no video. So now on my, so I have two monitors. On my other monitor, I have a PowerPoint presentation. You can see it if I do this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that to my sources. So I'm going to click on plus, and then I'm going to go to window capture, and I'm going to call this PowerPoint. And again, this is just for me to stay organized. And then under window, if you have PowerPoint actually open, it should show up here. So I'm going to choose PowerPoint slideshow. And there it is. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do is add the front camera. Now, I will warn you, my front camera has been acting up, and it shows, especially when the computer is running hot as it is now, because I'm recording with QuickTime, which is very demanding on my computer for some reason. It might show a lot of digital sort of noise, but that's just my camera. So I'm going to click on plus, and I'm going to go to video capture device, and I'm going to call this front camera. Okay, I'm going to click OK, and then here I will choose my FaceTime HD camera. This EpoCam is another application that I have installed, so this shouldn't show up at all. And there it is. And so here you can choose different kind of size, window sizes. There's one that I like. Let's see, which one is it? I think it's okay. Yeah, this one looks fine. So you can try different ones. I like a smaller one, but it just depends on how you want it. You can actually change the size during the recording if you want to. You can also make the window disappear. If, let's say, you have some text behind it and you want to make sure you can see it, you can just click on the eye, the front camera, and it disappears. So you'll see the little red frame, but that won't show up in the recording. So that's all well and good. Now, the one thing that is a little bit more of a pain that I mentioned before is to actually record the sound of the computer, because if I now go to my PowerPoint and I try to play the sound file, you actually won't hear it because it doesn't come through. Well, in any case, I'm not recording with OBS, but if I was recording with OBS, it wouldn't come through. So it's really frustrating, but that's how it is. So to get around that problem, we will need to go to, so the quickest way to get there is just go here to the little search on the right, top right, spotlight search, and then search for audio MIDI setup. And that should show up. Okay, so once you have that, what we're going to do is create a new multi-output device. So I'll click on plus here, and I'm going to create multi-output device. Now, so this is where we need to pause for a second, because you need to download this program called iShowU Audio Capture. And I just Googled it. This looks like that's where I downloaded it. Yeah, this is it. So very simple download. That's it. This is where I got it. So just so you know, this is trustworthy. So I downloaded it, I ran it, and it did everything it needed to do on its own. So once you've installed it, it should show up here as one of your options. Now I have, again, some additional options here that you probably don't have. These are programs that I've installed. But the one we're interested in is iShowU Audio Capture. So once again, we've started a new multi-output device, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my USB-C. So this is what I'm using as my headphone jack, because my headphone jack is broken, so I have a USB adapter, so that's what that is. But if you're just connecting your headphones to your output, then you should just click on built-in output. And then you also want to click on iShowU Audio Capture. So the point of all this is that you have sound. What this does is it allows you to send sound to your headphones, while at the same time send sound to this kind of virtual output that is then usable as a recording device. So in other words, the computer thinks of it as an incoming source of sound, but it's actually coming from within the computer. So it's sort of like tricking the computer into recording itself. It's a strange thing. I don't know why it's always a little complicated to do, but I've had this experience in the past, and that's just how it goes. So that's all you really need. So we have multi-output device, and we have either built-in output or whatever headphone output, or if you're using your sound interface, you could use that too. But the main thing is that in addition to whatever output you're using, you need to have iShowU Audio Capture as well. And you can change the name of this if you want to. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to call it multi-output device. So that's that. I'm going to close this. And then the final step is to go to System Preferences, and now go to Sound. And in Sound, I'm going to choose as an output device the one called multi-output device. Or if you change the name, which I'm assuming you didn't, that's what they would have a different name, but we just left it as multi-output device. So once I close this out, you'll see that if I go back to my PowerPoint and I press play, you still don't hear it, but you see it. So that's the key. Actually, it is coming through, but I have headphones on, so you can't hear it right now. And I'm not using this to record through QuickTime, which also proves the point that you can't hear audio coming out of the computer. But now this is the key, is that I'm seeing the audio come in. So when I control the volume here, I'm actually only controlling the sound of the playback, whereas here I'm able to control the sound of my voice independently, which is very nice. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So you can take this window, move it around, and once you want to record, you just press start recording. It's as simple as that. And in general, it saves. I don't remember if I set that to save on my desktop. There's probably here a way to, well, there's definitely here a way to tell it where you want to record. Yeah, here, there's a recording path. So if you go to output, on the recording path, I chose desktop, just in case you can't figure out where your files are going. Then this is where you would choose where your files are being recorded. So I think that's all there is to it. I hope this is helpful.